We have learned that for most common bacteria to grow, they need 4 basic things: food, moisture, air and warmth. And similar to human baby, we can add to that list a 5th factor of time. A human baby takes time in the correct environment to grow, and so do bacteria. Because the food, moisture and air are always present when working with food, the most effective method of our control of bacterial growth is to minimize the time allowed in the temperature danger zone of 8 degrees Celsius to 63 degrees Celsius. Below 8 degrees Celsius, most potentially dangerous bacteria effectively lay dormant, and their growth rate virtually stops. Then at the other end of the scale, above 63 degrees Celsius, most potentially harmful bacteria are killed. You may find that some food companies adopt a 70 degrees Celsius minimum control level for foods. This is to give themselves a safety buffer as a margin of error, but the legally defined hot temperature boundary is currently set at 63 degrees Celsius, which is what you should learn.
So essentially, our main bacterial control tools involve the removal of heat through refrigeration or the addition of heat by cooking or hot storage. But for the control of bacterial growth, it is not merely enough to add or subtract heat without some definition of the amount of time needed to reach the target of being outside the danger zone of 8 degrees Celsius to 63 degrees Celsius. As you can imagine, if you heated a food from chilled to 63 degrees Celsius over a period of days, you would reach the ultimate target, but the bacteria would have grown so much over that period that it would be highly poisonous if ever eaten. So the food industry has identified guideline targets on how to achieve certain processes whilst maintaining low or high food temperatures, and then quantified the sort of times needed whilst in the danger zone to heat or chill foods in order to keep our foods safe to consume.
Food defrosting. Foods, when defrosting naturally, will thaw from the outside in, which may result in cold spots in the centre. Or conversely, if defrosted in a microwave oven too quickly, the foods will defrost from the inside out, possibly resulting in hot spots in the centre, leaving the outer still frozen. The answer is to defrost foods slowly at the bottom of a refrigerator, or sealed in a bath of cold or iced water, turning regularly until the defrosting process has worked evenly. If using a microwave oven, the manufacturer's defrosting instructions must be adhered to accurately, including leaving times to stand as applicable. Once the food is defrosted, it should be held at the bottom of a refrigerator in order to ensure that no drips are allowed to fall onto any foods below. Alternatively, they may be taken and cooked as required. It is good practice when preparing foods for the freezer to consider the method of defrosting you're likely to use and seal the portions into sizes that are most suitable for your needs. When foods have been defrosted and then recooked, they can only be chilled and reheated once more before being destroyed.
Cold food storage temperature definitions. Cold foods must be stored or displayed at temperatures below 8 degrees Celsius. Refrigerator settings are recommended to be between 3 degrees Celsius and 5 degrees Celsius. This allows for some deviation due to the doors being opened and closed. Foods below the freezing point of 0 degrees Celsius are effectively safe from bacterial growth, but are still subject to the effects of spoilage enzymes. The recommended freezer settings for most light or medium duty foods are minus 18 degrees Celsius. This temperature slows down the effect of spoilage enzymes significantly and holds most foods without spoilage subject to the manufacturer's instructions for between 3 to 6 months. Larger food producers, however, may need a longer term of protection for their foods, and their freezers are often set to -24 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the spoilage enzymes almost totally cease to have any deteriorating effect. There may appear to be a case for setting all freezers to the lower temperature of -24 degrees centigrade, but foods at this temperature do take significantly longer to defrost, and many lighter quality foods, for example some pastries or sauce-based dishes, can be damaged by freezing so deeply. It is important to note that you should always consult the manufacturer's instructions with respect to the freezing capabilities of your piece of equipment.